Can't remember they're changing my voice, and they probably did the same thing in the songs I made when I was younger, when I was about 16. Um, there's several clips that stick out. I don't have many of these songs posted, just clips of songs. Maybe I have the whole song posted, I don't know, but I do believe I have the song posted. In fact, I'm sure, unless they took it down, of the one saying, timing slightly off, another soul lost, the greater network crossed, nothing but war for the boss. Mind frame creating misplaced game. They want a ball and ignore the deeper call. Y'all through stressing me, okay? And I said something about dumb wild whore hens, okay? You know, they want a ball and ignore the deeper call, okay? And some of these people are dumb wild whore hens. So I was looking for a way to say a dumb slut, okay, a dumb chicken, okay? And I said, okay, let me use this dumb wild whore hens. So it's females in general, and I'm trying to show the whole spectrum, right? From females who are 14 years old to females who are older, okay? So it says, and what did I see on the Ave? So I talked about the Ave, Santa Clara Avenue in San Jose, downtown San Jose, and I'm trying to get it through people's heads that they need to see the deeper call and stop accepting, right, the mind frame, right, the mental state of the state. And what I referred to as game was really skill set. Because I didn't think people should play the game. I said they want a ball, right? That's playing the game, and they're ignoring the deeper call, which is not the game. The game is not to, the game that we commonly refer to as the game. Okay, it's a game instead of the reality of answering God's deeper call and telling the truth about things. Okay, and I was talking about how I believe that my doom was soon back then. Why? Because society was so damn evil. If you look at the different parts of the song, you can kind of put it together why I believe that. I said, these people aren't very smart. Okay? They've created a society that doesn't allow me to find my way effectively. Has to do with how the school system's structured. Has to do with females' attitudes toward dating. Has to do with parents' attitudes toward you dating their daughter when you're a really good person who's half black. Okay? And the son of two doctors, one a brain surgeon's son. Excuse me, one a brain surgeon. And so I'm a brain surgeon's son. And I also did algebra 2 in kindergarten, and I scored the top 1 percentile to get into an elite boarding school for high school, the top 1 percentile in the SSAT. So I had proven that I had a certain amount of book smarts, but that wasn't my concern. I wasn't saying that in the song. I said the deeper call is what matters. I didn't accept the mark of the beast, right? School spelled backwards is looks with a C instead of a K. Okay. So when you look at me when I'm 16, I think I have a picture actually when I'm 14 or 15. I think 15. I was kind of tall, and my neck was sticking out a lot because when I don't work out, I'm kind of tall, and it kind of looks awkward because I've evolved, my DNA to expect there to be intense martial training. So we see the next year in my picture when I'm 17, okay, we see a whole different frame, and they edited these pictures, and they even went as far as to come into the house and replace the picture of basically all my pictures are replaced. They're not the original, except for maybe one, and I doubt that that's even the case with that one. There's probably differences I don't notice. They probably made a subtle difference, you know. So I'm sure with the 22 witnesses to the harassment campaign against me, fuming, etc., the people are smart enough to know that I'm telling the truth about this. Why edit all my videos and pictures and not come into my house and change out my pictures there? Pretty straightforward. Remember, 22 witnesses. And I have a video that shows you them hacking my phone and typing words into my cell phone. Okay, there's no other way to look at it than to believe me. Why would I lie? Okay? If it was a matter of me not being in great shape, why wouldn't I just work out? Why don't I just go to the gym more? Obviously an angry guy. You see what I'm saying? So, and I have countless demonstrations, you know what I'm saying? So it's obvious that I'm telling the truth. And obviously that I was the voice of reason in the streets. Okay, you can tell by my music. Why was I putting on that music and not some hood music? Why was I talking about getting money and bitches and all this stuff? You see what I'm saying? That wasn't appealing to me. In fact, I said the opposite. I said they want a ball and ignore the deeper call. So judge someone by the content of their character, their spiritual depth, their moral worth. Okay, as I've been saying that since I was 16 years old. How about females in their late 20s, 30s, 40s? How about females in their 20s? How about females who's 18? How come they do not get this? How come they're so much less intelligent? There's females my age that do not understand that they're supposed to rally and obey God through me. They do not understand even the beginning of that. The beginning of that is the fear of the Lord. When faced with this test, when faced with these options, that leads you to put God first and obey God through me. How come they don't understand it? I've proven definitively in my video series, in my videos, on my channels, with that song posted, I've proven definitively that I've understood that for a very long time. And I tell you the truth, I've understood that since I was a little kid. I was watching Superman, He-Man, and hearing about Christianity, and my dad coming from Nigeria and the Nigerian Civil War and so on and so forth. I've understood that you put God first and not be a shallow chick. I lived in Saratoga in a mansion with a swimming pool when I was younger. Okay? I knew the difference between valuing money and valuing God. Okay? And if anything, at times at least, I didn't want to live in a mansion because I felt it came between me and other people, as they would see me as some kind of rich person, and I didn't not think very highly of rich people at the time. I knew for sure rich people are scum, they rip people off when I was a kid. So how come these people don't know to put God first, which means putting me first, which means obeying God through me? Okay, because I am the gate. He who obeys the he who obeys the Son obeys the Father. He or she who obeys the Father obeys the Son. Okay, he who sees the Son sees the Father. Okay, God's orders come through me. That's the only way they come. And they want to bawl and ignore the deeper call. And I said that before I was saying that I was a Prince of Judah, and before I eventually started knowing for sure that I'm Christ, and everything, the book was actually pointing to me as Christ. I knew I was supposed to be the leader. I didn't know what exactly it meant because of the white man's labyrinth instead of a Royal African Falcon martial art order, which would have spelled it out to me early on. Okay, people are liars. They are scum. They've created a bunch of gold-digging whores, and then they have the nerve to tell Christ himself that he's not good enough for their daughter. Think about it. As whites, Jews, and LGBT people are the main people doing evil in the world, okay? And it brings me no joy to say this. I'm not racist. It's just the truth. If they keep editing my pictures so they can feign supremacy, I'm going to have to specifically talk about them more and more and more, especially because they're taking down some of my videos. Okay, which forces me to emphasize it more, because bad behavior cannot be rewarded. It must be addressed. And if you're trying to make it so you seem superior to the most righteous guy ever, okay, you put a lamp on its stand, not a bunch of devils on a stand. So therefore, I'm going to have to talk about their groupings. And by default, that includes the races who have decided to keep breeding in their races without a higher cause, without doing anything to significantly change the direction of their race. And after I'm gone, there will be no changing direction for anybody on the planet. Okay? If it was the black people doing this, I would have said that what they're doing is disgraceful and would have found the appropriate way to chastise them. But the particular motivations of the whites, Jews, and LGBT community in editing my pictures and my voice and fuming me and poisoning me, and their police departments not responding, not making arrests, not making press statements, okay, just like the history of this nation, it was whites, Jews, and LGBT people, okay, in the Klan and other fraternities that were persecuting black people and not giving them justice in the court system. And since they're doing it for racial supremacy, I will have to point out exactly where I think their races fit in the racial order if they keep it up. I've warned them many times. I've chastised them many times. I used to tiptoe through the tulips, but they need to be addressed. So in the afterlife, a special punishment will be given to people according to their groupings. Since you insist on doing it as a group, and no one in your group comes and rallies to me and seeks justice for me, and this is the most important thing and the most important time in history, okay, those punishments must be assigned. So real quickly, one last clip. If you were in my shoes, how would you answer them for what they've been doing? Obviously, I've been saying it's the white Jews and LGBT and their allies and token minorities over and over again, and they don't stop doing it. So I have to step it up on them to try to get them to stop doing it, because I can't I can't do nothing about it. And I can't keep doing the same thing, or else I'm not truly doing service to God. So I have to say, hey, I'm glad that I'm not from your races. Okay? I would rather be my parents who are persecuted to some degree just for being my parents. Okay? Looking at all kinds of sabotage instead of some billionaire old fogey looking back at a life of self indulgence. And other people honestly do not believe that. If the rich person who's an old person believed that, they'd stop being a self indulgent old geezer and they start doing the right thing and being persecuted. So they obviously don't believe the same noble things that I believe. So there's some kind of greedy, unfairly elevated peasant, okay, where I'm a noble person of noble character, okay, obviously. So if you were me, how would you punish them? Obviously, I'm doing the right thing when you think about it. I'm not racist, I'm part white, but I'm glad I'm not full white. I'm glad I'm not Jew. I'm glad I'm not an LGBT person. Because when you're attached to these groups who are doing this horrible thing that defines who they are to the very core of their spirit, and you do not rally and obey the most righteous person that ever lived, what does that say about you and your people and your spirit? I'm simply pointing out things they don't want to be said that should be pointed out in this exact situation to try to get them to stop trying to make themselves look good and feel good, okay? And to leave me the fuck alone and compensate me because I'm being treated unfairly and they've been doing it for a long, long time, okay? And they know what they've been doing. They know they've sabotaged my family. My dad's been a brain surgeon for over 40 years and he's not rich. Why? Because of the white Jew and LGBT community sabotaging him, sabotaging his business, going way out of their way to do that. And you can imagine those racist scoundrels pretending I'm like some kind of con man. I'm not asking for people to give me donations. I don't want their donations. I'm asking for the government to compensate me for the fucking hate campaign they've been waging against me and my family. Okay? And for the white, Jewish, and LGBT community to take responsibility and to rally to me and help me get compensation and wage the war on poverty and so on and so forth. Okay, this is not rocket science. It's called the basic decent thing to do. And their entire races and groups can't do it, and they've led other groups astray. As you see, everyone is whitewashed and Western occult washed and LGBT washed these days. If you have any viable counter argument, please let me know, because I do not want to say something that's wrong or that is actually racist. When you can prove it's racist, I'll take it back. But it's called telling the truth.